I know people are pissed off at this judge. I know. You're allowed to be pissed off. I don't care for the ruling. I think it was a bad ruling. Judges make bad decisions sometimes. I don't care for it. I don't agree with it. I think that it fails to recognize that the lively people are the ones who put this on his docket in the first place. So if he struck the response, he should strike the thing the response was to. But in the end, it's a procedural issue and not a substantive one. He is not foreclosing anybody from bringing this up. He is not weighing in on the merits of this situation. He's just saying, I don't want this shit on my docket. I think it's unfair to characterize the activity that way, because frankly, I'm pretty impressed that Brian Friedman sat on this for 3 months. Can't believe we didn't know. If he wanted to go to the media, he could have gone to the media with it back then. Maybe he was waiting until he got the information from the subpoena. I don't know. But, you know, I don't want to minimize it for anybody, but, you know, these are litigators on all sides of this, and they get orders rolling in from judges on different motions and different issues all day long. You win some of them, you lose some of them. I think this just is not the right call, but this is not the war. This is just a single battle. I am not going to engage in any discussion about the judge's recusal, bias, misconduct. No. You guys can talk about that if you want. I'm not doing it. I am a member of the bar. I practice in federal court. I am not going to get on the internet and say that a judge is engaging in misconduct, a federal judge no less, because I don't like one ruling that he made in one case. That would not be appropriate for me to do, and I'm not going to. And I'm not going to I'm not going to stop you guys from talking about it, but I don't expect me to join in that conversation, because I'm not going to do it. But, you know, just keep in mind that this was a procedural decision. This was not a substantive decision. It doesn't mean that this issue can never come back up in this case. It just means he doesn't want to hear about it now. In fact, if you look at the order, hold on. If you look at the order, see up there, this is from the actual order the judge entered today. The letters improper must be stricken. It is irrelevant to any issue before the court and does not request any action from those court. He's just saying this isn't my problem. It doesn't mean that it can't be his problem later. It doesn't mean they can't get this information from Venable and then use it in a motion later. Of course they can. He's just saying, I don't want this shit being argued in front of me. So don't worry that this issue is over for him. It's not. I find this very interesting, this statement that Gottlieb made to People, of all places. Another day, another blah, 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 blah. He basically says, this is not about my misconduct. This is about Brian Friedman's misconduct. So he's very much reframing it as forget about all the stuff about me being a bad guy and extorting Taylor Swift. Brian Friedman's terrible, remember? So he's clearly using that particular strategy. Don't look over here, look over there. And then it's kind of funny, he, says another day, another bogus filing for clickbait, and then proceeds to make the most hyperbolic statement one could possibly make about triple hearsay is unreliable as information reported from children. I mean, come on. But this I found very telling, in addition to the picture from the Super Bowl last year, where I really liked Blake's hair. I wish she would wear her hair like that more often. He says, the conversations as described did not happen. As described is doing a lot of work there, isn't it? He didn't say the conversations didn't happen. He said the conversations as they've been described didn't happen. And Friedman's not saying they did. He's saying that's what somebody told me. So I'm trying to find out if that's what happened. I mean, it does feel very Van Zandt-ish, doesn't it? And again, then he talks about, we'll hold Mr. Friedman accountable for his misconduct. We're not going to forget that the original issue was what you may have done. So, he's very clearly trying to make this about Friedman's conduct and not his own. I don't know what we're going to end up finding out. I hope we get the information from Venable so we see what this really is. It seems from this language to me that they're setting it up to be yeah, these conversations happened, but they didn't happen the way that you're being told, and people are mischaracterizing and misleading you about how the conversations went. We'll see. But, at least at this point in time, if I have to look at two different statements that are completely in conflict, and one of those statements is an affidavit, and one of those statements is a PR statement issued to People magazine, I'm going to believe the affidavit. That's just me.